what you want, when you want it, where you want it. This is The Mesh.
Injuries.
What it is ain't exactly clear.
Bullying.
There's a man with a gun over there.
Shoot Addison.
Telling me I got to
Watch out, Chad.
think it's time we stop.
Chad.
What's that sound?
Losing again in fantasy.
Welcome to episode 10, volume 3 of the Fantasy Formula, the hottest sports podcast in all of Western North Carolina, creeping into living rooms across the world. At this time, I'd like to introduce our starting lineup for the Fantasy Formula. On the wheels of steel, executive producer extraordinaire, he's Magic Hands, Chris Fry. To my right, looking to put, I'm reading the wrong bit of info here, but you are to my right, Ad Rock, and it's good to see.
Right.
It's good to see you today. He's Addison Houday Fox.
What's happening out there in fantasy land?
And not to be forgotten, yes, he is 1-8, but we still love him. He's Chad, the Hitman East. Oh, goodness gracious. Fantasy Formula coming to you the week after Halloween. Addison, before we jump right into the fantasy festivities here, let's talk about the Halloween festivities last week. Tell me how it went down, buddy.
They were fantastic. We had a little man. It was his really first good Halloween. We dressed him up as a dragon. That lasted about 2-3 minutes before he got out of the house where he ripped off the costume.
Yes.
So I dressed up as a minion, which I thought would be a very popular costume, which was not. So we went to the hot spot, right near in our my new neighborhood, your neighborhood.
Yes.
And
I saw a couple minions running around, little minions.
Oh, well, you couldn't miss me. I was the big minion. I was a really big minion. And it was cool. I had the yellow face paint, and I had I actually ordered minion goggles.
Wow.
Yellow shirt, overalls, boots, the whole shebang.
All out.
And people were like, "Oh, minion, look, he looks so like," because in the bald head, it looks like me.
Sure.
Well, that worked for about about 30 minutes. And then after walking, it wasn't exactly cold that night.
Yeah, it was a little warm that night.
And you paint your face, you tend to sweat.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the paint started running, and then people were freaking out, like, "Oh my God, he's melting" or something. But then, so I wiped the paint off, but then it looked like with yellow face paint, I looked like I had jaundice for like a day or two. So,
but a successful, Halloween.
We got some good candy. Stole some kids' candies. Beat them down, took their treats. Nice. Showed Griffin how to do it, and pick on the skinny kids and just beat them in the yard when nobody's looking and take the candy. So we're good.
Cool. My little girl's dressed up. Olivia was a jellyfish, and Lucy Rose was a kitten, and she wanted to be. Yeah.
Jellyfish.
Olivia.
Is that even in the top 100 of costumes?
She likes to do something like outside the box. So her mama took a sombrero and then put all this padding on it and covered it with this real reflective kind of fabric, and then made all these tentacles, and so she put it on her head, and she looked like a dang jellyfish walking around. It was pretty cool. Yeah, it was a really cool costume.
Dude, I mean, that's outside the. Yeah. That's like the box. That's,
outside the tray, whatever it is. Now, the cube.
Props. First off, props on creative costume.
Yes, thanks.
Actually, the one I saw, I will say this. I saw this kid, and I got to tell you, because this is one of the coolest costumes I saw, and I may do this next year in a bigger with me and McGriffin. Is this guy had taken a cardboard box and did cardboard cones, little circular cardboard cones on the cardboard box, and smoothed them in with some putty or tape, taped them closed, and then on the back had indentions for he paid a sun, and he polyurethaned it. Painted it yellow, and polyurethane it shiny, so cardboard looked plastic. His son was a walking Lego piece, and it looked.
I saw that, dude. That was pretty sick. That was pretty sick.
And I'm going, man, that was so. It was creative. Yeah. I thought my costume was cheap. That one was probably cheaper.
Yeah. And it looked fantastic.
And utterly, I was like, dude, that is good job. Yeah, I mean, that's
you know what I've noticed when we were walking around on 6th Street at Halloween?
The hot moms?
That first and foremost. Secondly, these costumes, the teenage kids, let's take them from 13 to about high school.
Yeah.
They're starting to get scary. I think they're trying to really scare the hell out of you these days.
There are some, this whole zombie vampire movie.
Yeah, dude, this is getting out of control.
Yeah,
man. I was a little scared walking down the street.
G.I. Joe.
Yeah.
And
or a football player.
Yeah.
You know, come on. Instead, now
pull
it's
stuff out the closet. Now they're going, raiding like mom's makeup cabinet and doing like face. God,
this dude was dragging. He had this long axe, and he would just drag it down the street, pick it up, and let it make all these noises. And these kids are like, ah! They're going crazy, freaked out by this dude.
One kid was dragging a pitchfork. First off,
I saw that dude.
My mom would not let me out of the house with a pitchfork.
Yeah, this is crazy.
Especially around hundreds.
Yeah,
close to 1,000 people.
Yep.
Sorry, I don't know what parents letting their son.
It's getting freaky out there.
Pitchfork.
It's getting freaky out there, Ad Rock.
Let's get back. We're
getting freaky. Well, before we move on, Olivia got 6.6 pounds of candy. That's how much she collected. 6.6 pounds.
Does she weigh 6.6 pounds?
I know exactly. She couldn't even carry the bag anymore. Daddy had to help her out. But anyway, so a good Halloween.
Good job, Bo.
Good work. Can't wait till next Halloween. So with that, bro, let's roll right into the Fantasy 45, the fastest 45 seconds in fantasy football. Like we said on the breakdown at the beginning of the show, I went 0-3 again, Addison. So my record continues to just plummet.
And we're going back to the stats because it was the Raleigh League and one Hickory League, and the Hickory League has to be the one that we're in together. So we're going back to the tape.
The tape. I'm not a cheater. I know what I know the bet I made.
If it happens to be year 2-16,
yes.
God,
that's not the case.
Let me say that one more time.
That's not the case.
2-16. We need to go strap it on next week, buddy.
I'm 5-4 in the other league. So anyway, I'm 5-4. I'm in the playoff hunt in one league. The other two leagues, there's no way I'm going to even be near it. So let's see what happens this week. You ready?
Going to the tape.
Here we go. Okay, opening night. This is Thursday night football, NFL style, here on the NFL channel, 8:25 kick. We've got the Washington Redskins traveling to the Minnesota Vikings. Last week for the Skins, Ad Rock, RG3 plays a pretty decent game. They get the win 30-24 over the Chargers, goes for 291 through the air. Alfred Morris just gets it done on the ground, 121 and a touch. And your man, Pierre Wee Garçon, we've talked about him for 3 years at least now. 7 receptions, 172 yards.
Oh, yeah, he helped me too, by the way.
Oh, you got him on your squad? Yeah. Woo, that was a sick game. They will be playing or traveling to the Vikings where they lose 27-23. Ponder, 236 and a touchdown. Threw several really bad passes, a couple picks in that game. AP gets back on board with 140 yards and a touchdown. Greg Jennings sightings, 6 for 56. Big injury news here. Kyle Rudolph out for at least a month with a fractured foot. Right now, Ad Rock, Vegas got this number. Let me bring it up here real quick. Washington is a 2-point favorite on the road, 50.5 here total. What do we see out of Vikings land or Skins land here fantasy-wise?
I don't know. You know what? The Christian Ponder's getting started again this week. I don't know.
He's getting it, really?
Yeah, I saw they were talking about last night that the Christian Ponder's argument, he's already going to be I think he's going to be started this week. They say, that Leslie Frazier goes back to this best chance to win. So what? I'm not.
They're 1-7, right?
So I guess.
What do they got to play for? I mean, I think in my mind, if I was the coach, I already know what Ponder's got, and it's really not much of anything. I might turn it over to Freeman and say, hey, you got 5 games. Show me what you got. If not, we're going to be drafting in the top 5 next year. We're going to have to get another quarterback. Yeah. You see what I'm saying?
I don't know. I like they're using, what's the Cordell Patterson? Patterson got into the receiver for the Minnesota Vikings. They're throwing him into the mix. He's going to be their new deep down the field threat. Of course, you got Jerome Simpson, who's getting to see a little more action, who's a viable option. I think with some of the injuries that are going on in the leagues, and of course Greg Jennings, who's had a little resurgence the last 2 weeks or so.
Ponder looks at his way. He's not a deep threat anymore. No.
He'll
catch those 8 to 10
right.
routes.
So I think Jerome Simpson is. I think he's projected and averaging a few more points than Jennings in the last few weeks. But again, you got AP, and that's about it. So I don't see much but the other side of the ball with the Skins. I mean, Hankerson, Wee Garçon, RG3, Halou Jr., Alfred Morris, all of them.
Even that fullback, he got 3 touchdowns last week.
You got any one of those. I mean, if the fancy bug is running rampant through your team and you got some buys, any of those that we just named off on the Skins are viable options against this Minnesota defense.
Yeah, I think this game is fantasy points galore. I think the Redskins defense is so decimated. I think even Ponder going to have a good game against these Redskins. I do like the Redskins on the road just giving up 2, and this total at 15.5. Man, I think this thing flies over the total. Look for Pierre Wee to continue his torrid streak. I look for him for 2 touchdowns and $150. Alfred Morris 100 yards on the ground too. If you like fantasy points, ladies and gentlemen, you'll like this Thursday game. Let's go DC and let's go over the total. What do you think, Ad?
I'm going to go with you. I'm going to agree with you on that. I don't know how we got switched up to where I'm agreeing with you, but Chad, Frank, I'm going to agree with you on that. That sounds like a winner to me.
Love it. All right, brother. Let's move on to the next game. This will kick off our Sunday schedule. This game at the beginning of the year was going to be a showdown between 2 NFC playoff teams. Seattle travels to Hotlanta. How the tables have turned in Hotlanta. They've got 2 wins, dude. And they just got destroyed by the Panthers.
Well, look,
Holy
the Panthers are
cow.
the Panthers are one of the hottest teams in the NFL right now.
They are.
So Atlanta, they've been bitten by the bug. I mean, Roddy White is, I think, been upgraded to questionable this week.
I'm glad you brought that up. The breaking news here, he said that he hadn't shown up for practice in like 2 weeks. He actually showed up today. Yeah, showed up.
Atlanta may, I don't think Roddy White's the spark that the Falcons are looking for.
They need a lot more than that.
Steven Jackson looked all happy because he was third down back and got to the end zone, but I still think Jaquiz is their best option out of the backfield. It gives Matt Ryan an out of the backfield. But I don't know. I think Seattle I'd like to see how many miles Seattle's traveling. I think this is a stretch of the season where they're flying. They come to the East Coast like 2 weeks, 2 or 3, back to back or something crazy. I don't know. I like Seahawks in this one. I think Atlanta's kind of reeling, and I don't see a lot of fantasy points in this game. Seattle may put up about 20 something, but I just don't see a lot of points. Maybe some passes but nothing's jumping out at me.
All right, buddy. Let's talk a little bit about how they did last week so we can kind of diagnose this game. Matt Ryan, 219 and a touchdown. Not bad, but you drafted Matt Ryan in the 2nd or 3rd round thinking he'd be your star quarterback to get you the numbers that like the Aaron Rodgers or the Matt Staffords. Well, he is not doing it. But granted, he's got no weapons anymore. On the ground, Steven Jackson, pedestrian numbers, 13 for 57. Harry Douglas continues to be their only receiver left. He's got 82 yards on 3 receptions. Seattle, on the other hand, played at home against the Buccaneers. Seattle was everybody's choice as defense number 1 against the Bucs. They almost lost this game, okay? I mean, they played at home and almost lost. Russell Wilson saves the day, 217 and 2 touchdowns late. Marshawn Lynch, $125 on the ground, and Doug Baldwin. We talked about him a little bit last week with the injuries there to Sidney Rice and I think Percy Harvin. He didn't play. Was supposed to play last week. Doug Baldwin steps in nice, 6 for 75 and a touchdown. What you said earlier, Addison, about Seattle traveling across the country. It's hard to take Atlanta, especially Atlanta plus the 6, 44.5 is what Vegas has the number. But Seattle in the last 2 games has not been impressive at all, especially traveling all the way across the country. Atlanta, I think they show up for this ball game. I'm not calling the outright win. I think they keep this one closer. Let's go Atlanta plus the 6, and I'm going to go under the 44.5. Just like you said, not too many fantasy points here at all. No. Next up, Bo, we're going to travel to Baltimore where the Ravens take on your boys, the Cincinnati Houday Bengals. Cincinnati on a tear right now. Actually, they lost last
No, they're not on a tear. It was a
Actually, they got tore up. Not on a tear, but got tore up. Woo! Woo!
Really?
Bengals lose 22 to 20.
They lost on safety, and really?
Yeah, come on.
That's all you have.
Bengals lose 22 to 20. I loved every minute of it. Andy Dalton, what a horrendous game this dude had last weekend. I finally start him in one of my leagues.
Red BB gun.
4 picks.
God.
338, but 4 picks. 2 of them in the dang red zone. He could have had a lot of fantasy points.
He was on a tear, and then he just came crashing.
Oh, dude.
Back to earth.
What's wrong with this dude? Giovanni Bernard, 9 carries for 79 yards and 2 touchdowns. Look great. Out with ribs. Questionable for next game. Y'all keep, because Gio Bernard is a must start in every league.
You're right. And I don't think with the way the law firm's been running, I bet they'll get him because the Bengals right now are going to the playoffs. So
you think they'll sit Giovanni Bernard?
I think they'll sit Giovanni Bernard.
Ooh,
because law firm has been getting. He's run the ball hard. He's healthy. You know what? Give him a rest.
Yeah, I don't know if they could bitch him, though. He's such an integral part of the offense now. 2 touchdowns. I mean, he looks great. So keep your eyes on the injury report. If he's really banged up and questionable, maybe you sit him on the bench.
Sit him. We need him for the playoffs. We need him for the playoffs. Because, you can't give me $50 now because we're going to the playoffs.
I mean, I know what our bet is.
That's right.
They will be playing on the road to the Baltimore Ravens. Last week, the Ravens, what did the Ravens do? Let's find them here, Ad Rock.
I don't know. The internet
They lost to the Browns. That's right, 24-18. Flacco, 2 touchdowns and 250. Not bad fantasy numbers, but this team is just crumbling. They are coming down, Ad Rock.
Crumble's not the word.
Guess who the leading rusher for the Ravens was last week?
Joe Flacco.
Joe Flacco. 3 carries for 25 yards. Ray Rice, Bernard Pierce, y'all are supposed to be 2 fantastic running backs this year.
Yeah.
They're getting no love.
They're
not even getting touches.
2.7 yards per carry.
Horrendous. Can I start? I've got Ray Rice on 2 of my teams. I'm thinking about benching this dude.
Yeah, the only person that has had a somewhat of a decent year is Torrey Smith so far.
Torrey Smith, 5 receptions, 78. That's like Flacco's only kind of outlet.
We got Marlon Brown. Marlon Brown said,
that's
he's
true.
got 5 touchdowns.
Yeah, but I don't think Flacco can depend on Marlon Brown. I think he feels like Torrey Smith is your comfort.
Yeah, I know what you're saying.
What's it called? Comfort blanket. Is that right?
Your Whoopi. It's his
Whoopi. Your Whoopi. Exactly. I did read today. Dennis Pitta.
He's back. He's probably back practicing next week.
Back practicing next week, and Flacco needs him desperately.
So bad. You got a quarterback that type of offense. You got to have a decent tight end. And they just don't have it.
Exactly right. Right now, Vegas got this number, Ad Rock, as Cincinnati a 1.5-point favorite on the road. That's pretty big against Baltimore on the road. Total 44. What you think about this one,
dude? I think the Houday Nation is just going to run rampant in Baltimore.
You think it's time for them to come back after the Dolphins loss?
Cincinnati's going to come to Baltimore, sit down, eat a bunch of blue crabs, and just destroy the Baltimore Ravens.
Whoa!
And this is a division game.
It's a huge game.
This will basically wrap up the division for the Bengals. And
exactly. Cincinnati. Baltimore's not even in second. It's Cleveland in second.
Cleveland
Turds are in second place in that division.
And you know what? I will say this. I'm going to give my Cleveland friend. I'm going to stop saying it because you know what? To Cleveland, I have with the kind of the no-name quarterback situation they've had. They've with not a lot of key players, prominent players besides Josh Gordon. Is it Josh Gordon? Yeah, Josh Gordon.
Mm-hmm.
You know what? They don't have a marquee player. You know what? They're winning. They're 4-5, but you know what? They're in a couple key wins. They could be in a wild card place.
I'm going to read you this text that just came across my phone here, Addison.
Who's it from?
It's from Matt Pearsall, who is a Cleveland Brown fan, and actually he has a question that he wanted to ask us.
Oh,
but
okay.
He said
not
this,
live, is it?
He said this to us
in Texas.
He said, great, thanks. Tell Addison that the Bengals, when they play the Browns next week, and the Browns end up whooping them for the second time this year, I want him to tell me how my Browns taste. Go Browns. Boom, right there. Look at it, right there. What's that say? The exact same thing I read. Matt Pearsall from Cleveland, Ohio.
I thought you were making that up.
Cleveland, Ohio sends a text in to support the fantasy.
You know what? Cleveland Brown fans, you had one fan that's messed all up. They're back to Cleveland Turds within like 15 seconds. I'll tell you, Browns. I'll tell you what.
Whatever. I'm thinking in this game with Vegas got the number at Cincinnati minus 1.5, total 44. I think the Ravens get this job done at home, send the Bengals to back-to-back losses.
Chad, I have to disagree with you.
Oh,
I'm going to have to disagree with you.
I don't believe it.
I'm going to take the over. I think Andy Dalton gets back on track, and I'm taking the Bengals to cover by at least 7.
Beer bet.
We're even now.
Let's go. Beer bet.
Right, so
is it on?
Yeah, we're even on the beer bet. All right, so let's go.
I got Baltimore. You got Cincy. You're giving me 7? Done. Sold.
No.
Sold to the bald man to my right. Sold to the bald man to my right.
I'll give you 6.5.
Whatever. It's cool. I'll take whatever. Vegas got it 1.5, so I'm getting 5.5 extra points. So all day long. Next up, Ad Rock, you ready? We going to Chi-Town, the Windy City, where Chicago Bears, coming off a huge win against Green Bay Monday night, host the Detroit Lions. The Detroit Lions had their bye. They had their bye.
We got Reggie Bush back. We got Matt Stafford. We got Megatron. Everybody in fantasy world is happy that the Detroit Lions are off bye.
Exactly. And me especially, because I got Stafford in 2 leagues, and you got him in a league, don't you?
Stafford and Bush. I'm so happy.
Yeah.
Fantasy world, there was a slight, thank God this week's over. I'm serious.
Completely agree. It was rough for me.
Those are 3 cornerstones of each one of them is a cornerstone of everybody's league. They've been stellar. They've all have put up major points for everybody.
No doubt about it. Real quick for the Bears last week, Chicago, they come into the Packers. They do damage. They win. Josh McCown, the backup quarterback, goes 22 for 41, 272, and 2 touchdowns. Forte on the ground looks fabulous, a $125 and a touchdown. And Brandon Marshall gets another 100-yard game. This is 5th of the year, 107 and a touchdown. As we mentioned, Lions coming off the bye. Addison, this is going to be this is a divisional game. Huge ramifications here. We've got Detroit on the road at Chicago. This news just in, too. Jay Cutler, they said if he can practice this week, he will be the starter in this game. So big Could you bench Josh McCown? I mean, granted, he's Josh McCown, but the dude, he played great against Green Bay. Yeah. He played great when Cutler got hurt a couple weeks ago. Let's say Cutler's 75% says, Coach, I want to go in. Coach, I want to go in. Do you put him in or leave Josh McCown in there?
Yeah, I think that with the chemistry that no, you know what? I take that back because, McCown spread the ball to Marshall and Jeffries. And Martell's, you know what? He hit his key targets, and I'm not going to.
He looked great.
As a coach, you know what? Look, it's big game. Let the backup's there. We're paying him a couple $1 million. Let him do his job. Let him back you up.
Until Cutler's 100% healthy.
100%. Because you know what? We need you. We're going to make a playoff push.
Yes.
We need you next week. We can probably get the job done. He has not shown anything to be benched yet. Let him do it. You're still a starter. But he did what he spread the ball around to big players, big plays. Alshon Jeffrey, looked great.
Dude, Alshon Jeffrey, to me, if I had a waiver wire wonder pick and I had a flex play that I was deciding between him or any of the Green Bay receivers or even
because I don't think he was.
Dude, I bet he got 100 yards and a touchdown this week. I bet he does.
But you know what?
What do you think?
I would like to look back. I mean, this year, was he a draft pick?
He got drafted so late in my leagues,
so
10th round.
You think he's a third, fourth round this year?
Next year, I bet he'll be around 5th round.
5th round?
I bet he'll be around 5th round, somewhere around there. Because, he looks great, especially across from Brandon Marshall. Brandon Marshall getting the double teams. Alshon Jeffrey all day.
He looked better than Nick Foles? Man, and, we talked about that. And you know what? I looked between Terrell Pryor and Nick Foles. That debate, because I had both. I was like, man, you know what? And what'd you say? I'll start Terrell Pryor.
Terrell Pryor had an all right game, just not as good as Nick Foles.
So I listened. No wonder you're freaking 1-8. I listened to Chad.
Exactly.
And I could have picked up Nick Foles and both my.
Look,
good job, Chad.
Hey, man.
Douche.
You're supposed to be the host of a podcast, and you're listening to me. Hey, I mean, I got to tell you, I'm proud of that, man.
I'm going to take the Chad.
I'm very proud of that.
Look, he's back against the wall. He needs to come some adversity.
Terrell Pryor's back was not against the wall. I mean, I just thought he could get 100 yards rush.
You're back against the wall.
No, my back's been against the wall since dang week 6, homie. Yes. All right, dude. Vegas, real quick. Got Detroit as a 3-point favorite, 49.5. Man, this is a tough one to call. Detroit off a bye week. Normally, teams coming off a bye, they will cover about 68% of the time. But this game is on the road. I think Chicago might get this one done at home, Addison. I'm going to take Chicago plus the 3, and I'm going to go over the total 49.5. A lot of fantasy points and a lot of reality points in this game. How you feeling?
I disagree. I think Detroit's coming off. Everybody's healthy. Reggie Bush is going to go friggin' wild in this game. You wait and see.
Woo!
Megatron, Chicago's defense is nothing. It's middle of the pack to say the best. And I think Matthew Stafford,
true.
Megatron are going to hook up deep a couple times. You got a man coming off a 300-yard performance plus a bye week. His confidence, he's healthy. His confidence is there.
And he's a little
and
week
healthy.
Yeah.
And you know what? I think the people on Soldier Field are going to be going, damn. I wish he was on my team.
Right on. We do agree about that. There will be a lot of points in this game. And, guys, I'm telling you, if you're wavering about Alshon Jeffrey, should I start him or not, put him in your lineup. I'm telling you, 100 yards and a touchdown. All right, Ad Rock. Next up, Philadelphia travels to Green Bay. The biggest news of the week. We haven't hit on it yet, but let's hit on it now. Aaron Rodgers goes out. First series of the game, broken collarbone. All right, so what does this mean? Fractured collarbone, so a small fracture. But I heard various reports. I heard 2 to 3 weeks, and then right before we came to the podcast today, they said maybe a minimum of a month. Regardless, this team without Aaron Rodgers, the leader in the locker room and on the field, this is going to hurt them, man. And backup quarterback, Seneca Wallace, they're thinking about bringing Matt Flynn back in. Woo.
Seneca Wallace, I don't know. It's almost like I look at the Green Bay Packers as they drafted really bad fantasy. Like they didn't have a backup plan because you got Seneca Wallace there. Yeah. Now you look at Green Bay's offense. Does Seneca Wallace fit in the offense at all?
No.
Does Matt Flynn? Yes. And Matt Flynn actually, I think they need to bring Matt Flynn in.
I mean, if they're dependent on Matt Flynn, it might be a rough next part of the year. But
no, dude, his NFL game. He's had a 5-touchdown game.
Why have 2 teams cut him in like 2 and 1.5 years?
Because they have the new age prototype quarterback, Terrell Pryor. Then you got EJ Manuel from Buffalo. Mm-hmm. So that's why he got cut. So that he doesn't fit. He doesn't fit in those offenses. What they've set up around those quarterbacks. So you've talked about a guy that's had a 5 touchdown game in the NFL. If you can throw 5 touchdowns in one game, you belong in this league. He said I had a chance because I think the timing has not been right. Mm-hmm. But with this offense, I think Matt Flynn, he did it for the Packers.
Seriously, take your Matt Flynn jersey off here in the next few minutes. All right, I know you're wearing it. You're wearing it proud. You've had it for 3 years. I know you're proud of it. But this team without Aaron Rodgers, I don't care if Matt Flynn's got a Superman cape. He ain't going to help him much.
I understand that, but you got to have somebody that can throw the ball down the field and understands a passing offense like the Packers have. So you know what, Matt Flynn fits better than Seneca Wallace.
Okay, thank you. Does this hurt? Now, Eddie Lacy, Eddie Lacy, huge game because Seneca Wallace couldn't throw the ball, so had a handoff 22 times, 150 yards, and a touchdown.
It starts.
Jordy Nelson, 4 receptions, 67 yards. Guaranteed their fantasy value will decline without Aaron Rodgers there. Agree or disagree? Speechless. He's speechless, ladies.
No, I mean, Jordan, you're putting running backs and receivers together.
Yes, because Aaron Rodgers is the leader of the team. He makes the whole offense go.
No. I think Eddie Lacy's been very good running back.
It's been awesome.
I think you're gonna be pleasantly surprised by it.
Okay. Well, I hope Eddie Lacy owners will be pleasantly surprised. I don't know him, but hopefully they will be.
I don't know.
They're straight down the tubes. On the other side of the ball, the Eagles, whoa, what a performance. We're talking about record-breaking performance.
7 touchdowns.
Nick Foles, 70 touchdowns.
70 fantasy points.
In the third quarter, he got benched. He didn't even play in the fourth quarter. He got benched at the end of the third. That's 7 touchdowns and 3 quarters. 406 yards, 22 for 28, almost a perfect game on the through the air. Deshaun Jackson, he caught 5 balls for 150 and a touchdown. And Riley Cooper caught 100 yards and 2 touchdowns. Holy cow, this was fantasy heaven, my friends. Yes, fantasy heaven.
I benched Riley Cooper the week before I had him start, and he didn't play like 4 points. Dropped him.
And the last week he had, 30?
Yeah.
Holy cow. Vegas got this number. Tell me what you think. This is, we'll see what the Rodgers injury does, but Vegas got the number. Before the injury, they had it set, they do them a couple weeks. It was 7.5.
What is it
now? It's 1 at Lambeau. Green Bay favored by 1 little point.
I'm with the offense the way
total 47.
Yeah, you know what?
What do you do?
I'll take the Eagles and over.
Yeah, this is a game. If I was a betting man, I would just pass. You know what I'm saying?
Really?
I would pass.
What's total?
47.
Oh, I'm taking over.
All right, you're going Philly and the over. I'm
yeah.
going Green Bay and the under. Even though after all that I said, I think Green Bay's defense can keep them in the game.
How much cash you got on you right now?
I only carry hundies.
So none. You have none, right? Okay. I was gonna make a bet with you, but you know what?
What do we got it? Just tell me. Are you gonna make another beer bet?
Yeah, no.
Are you coming to my house tomorrow for the games? Just bring $20 bill. We'll make $20.
I don't know if I'm gonna be able to get out.
Okay, that's what I figured.
Yeah.
Whoopsh. Yeah. Whoopsh. Whoopsh. All right, so that's what we're going to do in Philly, Green Bay,
paint cans and paint brushes, and
I hear you. Let's move on to the next game. Woo, this is a stinker. St. Louis. How many games has St. Louis won at? It can't be many, maybe 2. Let's see how many they won. I can't even find them on. They were probably on a bye last week. No, they're 3-6, so not as bad as I thought. They are traveling to Indianapolis last week for the Rams. They lose 28-21 in a close game with the Titans. Kellen Clemens, the backup, goes for 210 and a touchdown. This guy, Zach Stacy, 27 for 127 and 2 touchdowns. Plus he catches for 51 yards out of the backfield. This Zach Stacy, if y'all picked him up on the waiver wire, what a waiver wire wonder. Wow. This guy is giving you everything that you wanted. On the other side, the Indianapolis Colts played a tough game Monday night. They pull out a win, 27-24. This Andrew Luck starts so slow, gets 3 touchdowns in the last 14 minutes of the game. They win 27-24. He goes for 271 and 3 touchdowns. On the ground, Donald Brown, he's getting more play than Trent Richardson. What's going on?
I don't know, because Donald Brown was available in every waiver wire. I'm like, should I pick him up? And I'm like, maybe I should, because right now, there's some other people out there listening to us. Their running back situation is decimated.
Yeah.
And I was sitting there looking on Lee. I'm like, well, Donald Brown's there. And I'm thinking, you know what? He's getting carries. But
they trust him more than Trent Richardson, it seems like. They got him on big possessions and big plays.
I don't know.
Yeah, it's very strange. Through the air, T.Y. Hilton. Wow. Reggie Wayne out with an injury.
T.Y. Hilton is going to be one that I think next year. End of this year, going next year, this could be T.Y. Hilton's. He's going to be huge. He's going to be I think you could take him in 2nd or 3rd round next year and be happy, because the way Andrew Luck's been spreading the ball around, and this is his breakout year, and you're going to be like, he'll be his 3rd year next year, I think.
3rd year.
And that's just the quintessence. That's when the points happen.
True. I completely agree. 7 receptions for $121 and 3 touchdowns. Those 2 of those touchdowns touchdowns came in the last 6 minutes. When Andrew Luck needs a playmaker, he throws it to T.Y. Hilton. So right now, Vegas got that number. Indianapolis, a 9.5-point favorite. Total is 44. Ad Rock, what happens down there in Indianapolis this week?
I think Indianapolis is going to roll. I don't think, even though the Zach Stacey train is has got full steam behind it, I still think Andrew Luck is, the heir apparent in the NFL right now, and I think even with Reggie Wayne being out, there's you got Kobe Fleener, you got T.Y. Hilton, and Donald Brown. I think the offense is just clicking a little too much for St. Louis to handle. I see a lot of fantasy points. Givens on the other side of the ball, Zach Stacey, of course, but and maybe with this Jared Cook. I think you say most points to Jared Cook, tight end play with this offense. So a few fantasy points there. I mean, if you need a tight end, but I still think that Indianapolis is going to roll.
Tough for St. Louis to keep this one close. I agree. I think Indianapolis covers the 9.5, and I am going to lean over the total 44. There's two names you need to remember in this game. It's Zach Stacey and it's T.Y. Hilton. If you got them on your teams, you must start them. Zach Stacey, look for him to get a $125 and another 2-touchdown game, and T.Y. Hilton will continue his streak, 2 touchdowns and 105 yards through the air. This one will be a shootout, I believe, Addison. So let's go Indianapolis minus 9.5 and over the 44.
We'll get back to your show in a moment. Just a reminder, you're listening to The Mesh, an online media network of shows and programs ranging from business to arts, sports to entertainment, music to community. All programs are available on the website as well as through iTunes and YouTube. Find out more at themesh.tv and give us feedback on what you like. And now, as promised, back to your show.
Next up, dude, if you're talking about Turdsville, you'll like this last game. Oakland goes to the Giants. Holy cow. The last 2 weeks of games, Addison, how bad have they been? I mean, can you think of a good game? I know the Monday night game against Houston was Indianapolis-Houston. That was a pretty good game.
Right.
But all these games stink. Come on, NFL. Get us a better schedule. Oakland travels to the New York Giants last week. The Giants off on bye. Oakland puts up, they're the team that got shellacked by the Eagles 49-20. Terrell Pryor all through the air, 288. Solid game. On the ground, he goes for 94. Your man, Rashad Jennings, finally gets his 100-yard game when you probably had him on the bench, right?
Yeah, you're right.
And a touchdown, Rod Streeter for 98 yards. Right now, Vegas. New York Giants, a 7.5-point favorite at home. 43.5 is the total. You got Victor Cruz in the mix. You got Hakeem Nicks in the mix. Ruben Randall. And the real big news, Andre Brown, running back for the New York Giants. If he is activated by Thursday, which he said he's 100%, he can play this weekend. And I bet you, ladies and gentlemen, if you've got him on your team or if he's on your waiver wire, grab him because he will play this weekend. Who do you like in this matchup?
I'm not paying attention to you, Chad. I'm over here looking now.
What are you doing? Trying to pick up people off the waiver
exactly
wire?
What I'm trying to do.
Chris, will you take the mic over? This dude is just ridiculous. He's listened to everything I say so he can go to the waiver wire and pick up players for his team. It's horrendous. I need a better host than this. Come on, Chris. You ready?
Don't we have commercials? Can we go to a commercial or something?
Dude, tell me about this game, or do you want me to just take over the podcast and you go there and play Angry Birds or whatever you're doing, okay?
Take this game. Go ahead.
All right, so this game, Terrell Pryor, if you need a fantasy quarterback, I'm telling you.
We're talking about Oakland. Oh, yeah, Oakland's great, man. Oakland's fantastic. I had Terrell Pryor, great start. I like Oakland's game. I think they're fantastic. All right, go ahead, Chad. I'm busy. Go ahead. I'm back to mine. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to have to take a short break. So I won't throw this microphone and stick it right up Addison's.
I've totally forgot we were even doing a podcast. We're just tucked into the
As I mentioned, as the professional Chad East, the professional journalist here and broadcaster, I will tell you a little bit about this game. I do think the Giants at home against Oakland on the road will get this win. They need this win. They're coming off the bye. Andre Brown will give them a dose of offense that they haven't seen since the beginning of the year, since he hurt it. He broke his leg first week. So anyway, I really like the Giants in this spot. Take the Giants minus the 7.5, and let's go over the total 43.5. Andre Brown is a must start, as is Victor Cruz on the other side. If you got T-Pain, Terrell Pryor, put him in. He'll get you 100 yards on the ground and probably 200 through the air. Next up, it's another stinker. We're going to Pittsburgh, where the Pittsburgh
I should have paid attention to that.
Pittsburgh Steelers host the Buffalo Bills. Lord have mercy. Both these teams struggling.
Biggest bust in fantasy, C.J. Spiller.
The Bills actually playing a lot better than the Steelers right now. Last week for the Bills, Let me find these bad boys. The Bills lose 23-13 at the Chiefs. Jeff Amatul, backup quarterback for the Bills. He those for 229 and a touchdown, a lot better than a lot of people projected. C.J. Spiller finally gets going. He gets 12 carries for 116 yards on the ground, but I bet most people had them on their bench because they can't count on C.J. Spiller.
Fred Jackson's getting all the carries.
Yeah, but Spiller does the damage in this game. On the other side, Pittsburgh, wow, what a beating they take to the Patriots, 55-31, the most points the Pittsburgh Steelers defense have given up, I think it was ever. I think that's the most points ever against the Pittsburgh D. They lose 55-31. Big Ben, great fantasy number, 400 yards and 4 touchdowns. Fantastic, but, man, I mean, it was after they were down 35 points. So, Come on, Big Ben. Yep. Through the air, Emmanuel Sanders, 6 for 98, and Le'Veon Bell on the ground, 16 for 74. All right, here's some news out of Buffalo camp. Let me see if I can find them here. Buffalo, where are you? Well, maybe it wasn't out of Buffalo camp, but something's going on there. Oh, I know what it is. E.J. Manuel is projected to be back. All right, Thaddeus Lewis.
Hence, Matt Flynn getting cut.
Yes. Thaddeus Lewis been playing well until, Jeff Amatul comes in last week, but Thaddeus Lewis could play. Do we have a quarterback controversy in Buffalo? Is it Thaddeus Lewis's team or E.J. Manuel's?
Oh, it's E.J. Manuel's. I mean, there's hands down. Thaddeus Lewis is a smart kid.
He is a smart kid.
Yeah. I mean, E.J. Manuel's not.
What does that mean? Well, if Thaddeus Lewis is a smart kid, why wouldn't Thaddeus Lewis – I don't understand what you're saying. So smart kids can't play football. Is that what you're saying?
That's right.
Okay.
He went to Florida State compared to Duke.
Okay.
Are you with me?
Not really.
Well, you went to State. I wouldn't expect you to understand.
Oh, you went to Catawba. I forgot. You was a lot higher.
No,
education.
I think E.J. Manuel. This is E.J. Manuel's team. If there's a chance he can play with this season, they're going to see what he can do. Thaddeus Lewis is good, but I think he'll be trade bait in the year. I think it's E.J. Manuel's team, so if he gets a chance to play, he's playing.
You start C.J. Spiller this week against Pittsburgh's defense?
No, I'm just so disappointed with his play. I don't know what to think about C.J. Spiller. I mean, he can go out and get 20 yards, he can go out and get 200. You just don't know. I mean, it's been so disappointing.
I think I put C.J. Spiller in as a flex this week against Pittsburgh's D. They just gave up 55 points.
I know, but Fred Jackson, I mean, you just don't know.
I'm with you, but after a good game, maybe Buffalo's coaching staff says, "Hey, let's give him the rock more."
It's almost like he belongs to the New England Patriots. You don't know who's playing, what back's playing.
Right. Vegas right now has got the number Pittsburgh -3, the total 43.5. In my opinion, this is what I would lean. Y'all know I'm a Pittsburgh fan. They're playing so bad, but they can't play worse than last week. They rally Pittsburgh, take them at home, -3. They win this game in a low-scoring affair, 20-14. Addison, this one's all you. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
1 o'clock kick. We're going to Tennessee. The Tennessee Titans playing host to the lowly Jacksonville Jaguars. Last week, I'll give you the stats, and then I'm just going to let you just take it away so I can get on the waiver wire and pick up a couple players, okay? All right, last week for the Titans, Jake Locker was back. Not too impressive in his debut, but 185 through the air. All right, on the ground, CJ2K, who we talked about on the show last week, and I said, dude, look for him to have a 100-yard game. Well, guess what, ladies and gentlemen? The dude had 150 yards and 2 touchdowns. Kendall Wright through the air, looking like he's Jake Locker's go-to receiver, 3 for 69. They will be playing host to the Jacksonville Jaguars. Oh, these Jaguars, the news just keeps getting worse and worse for them. Justin Blackmon, their superstar wide receiver, who had been playing great, gets suspended again for smoking the tweeds, Ed. He can't get away from these tweeds. Kind of like you in college. Remember, you kept flunking, and you're like, how can I pass these classes? I was like, Addison, quit smoking the tweeds and go to class.
I had a .8 once.
Oh, my gosh. You're proud of that, aren't you?
Hey, I ended up with graduate with 2.9, so you know what? Zip it. Cheater. I came back from .8 to Cume with 2.9. So
did you quit smoking the tweeds?
I quit smoking.
Okay, that's what happened. All right, so Jaguar fans, I'm sorry, Justin Blackmon no longer on your team. Addison, I'm going to give you the number, give you the total. This one's yours, my friend. Okay. Jacksonville, 11.5-point dog, 41 total.
All right. Honestly, I mean, there's not really a no-brainer here. I think Jacksonville, they've had some spurts, some flutters of greatness. 49ers, for example. The offense is capable, not very good, but it is capable. But this game's going to be all Tennessee. I mean, you got CJ2K. You got Sean Green making an appearance last week, 38 and a touch. He could be a nice flex on a goal line carry if you're in a touchdown-only league. Not too bad. I like Jake Locker. He's coming around. I think he should thrive against this Jacksonville defense. And if you got Maurice Jones-Drew, God help you, because that's all they got to key on. You do have Cecil Shorts, who's had a respectable year so far this year. If they can get the ball to him, he can put up some numbers. But right now, it's all Tennessee. Tennessee, it's all right. I mean, their passing game, believe it or not, they're 7th in the league in passing. You know, they've had
Really?
Yeah. I'm sorry, I had that wrong.
70th?
70th, that's right. I was looking at the wrong stat. I do apologize. They're 24th in passing yards. My bad. Wrong
7
stat.
times 4?
Then I need that. Hell, let me enlarge the screen real quick. There we go. That's better. So it's going to be all Tennessee. Chad, you off the waiver wire yet? You good?
I'm good, dude. I don't use my podcast time to go on the waiver wire. Let me interject one thing, if I may, Mr. Fox.
No, you really cannot. No, I'm going to keep talking. This is like a filibuster.
There's a fella on Jacksonville's team, and granted, if you're picking up cats on Jacksonville's team, it is really bad for you. That's why I'll probably have to pick this guy up. But there's a wide receiver named Stephen Burton, okay? As I'm talking, Addison is probably trying to go to the waiver wire to get him right now. Stephen Burton, they love him in Jacksonville. The coaches say this guy is a prospect like no other prospect, which is crazy because I've never even heard of this cat, right? Stephen Burton. But anyway, if you're really desperate, he's working off a concussion, but with Justin Blackmon being suspended, Stephen Burton could fill that role.
You're 182 leagues, so you fall in that category being desperate, Chad.
There is no doubt about it, friend. No doubt about it. So
burn.
Oh, it stings. So Addison took Tennessee minus 11.5. I don't know what he did about the total, but you know what? You can't go with Jacksonville right now. I'm going to lean Tennessee minus 11.5 too, and I'm going to keep this one on the underside of the 41. Next up, Carolina Panther fans. Meow. This is a big one. This one is huge. This might be one of the biggest games Carolina's played in a long time.
Could be close.
They are traveling to San Francisco to take on the last year's NFC champions. So Carolina traveling across the country.
It's not going to be San Francisco. It's going to be they're going to be the 49ers, but they're going to be playing in
What are they playing? San Jose?
San Bernardino or some, I don't know, something not San Francisco.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, this game, it's a 4:00 kick. So normally Carolina Panther fans, we always get to see the 1:00 games. This one's a 4:05 game, so get a little bit later in the Sunday afternoon. Last week for the Panthers, Cam Newton, kind of a sluggish day for him, 23 for 37, 249 and a touchdown. But it really didn't matter because their defense played so great on the ground. Jonathan Stewart, 9 carries for 43 yards, ran hard. If you watch the game, he ran real hard.
Did he get hurt?
He didn't get hurt. He made it through the game. Brandon LaFell through the air, 6 for 74. But again, the big story in this game was Carolina's defense. They stymied the Falcons' offense.
Shut up.
I think they had 2 picks off Ryan, a couple fumbles.
Kuechly.
Yeah, he had a
Is it Kuechly?
Kuechly. God, what's his name? Kuechly, yeah.
Is it good? And
then the dude, Drayton Florence, the defensive back, he takes one back to the house. So anyway, their defense playing top 3 level NFL football right now.
I will say Carolina. I think Carolina is one of the 2 top hottest team in the NFL right now.
Who's the other?
I think Kansas City's pretty hot. I mean, they're undefeated.
Yeah.
I don't know in your world. I mean, you're 1-8 in 2 leagues. I don't know what you consider hot, Chad. So
I'd say that's kind of it's kind of lukewarm, maybe kind of lukewarmish.
You're in Ice Age land. I mean, you're so cold.
Check this out.
My bad. Edit. My bad.
San Francisco coming off the bye. They're playing at home. A 6-point favorite at home against the Panthers. Total 43. Ad-Rock, give it to me.
I'm going with Panthers.
Wow.
You
hate the Panthers.
Look, I'm not a big 49ers fan. I just don't really care for them. Never have.
Mm-hmm. Never will.
You know what? Kind of like some Cam Newton. I like Cam Newton. I think he's a good person in general. Don't know what that has to do with anything about fantasy.
Really, it has no meaning. No meaning
like
at
the
all.
Panthers better than the 49ers in this. And real quick, I'm going to go throw this out there. Our ticket special of the week, I always like going about this. Houston, Arizona, $8 special. $8.
That's the next game we're talking about.
And then hold up. The people who should be taken out and shot right now, Dallas and New Orleans.
Sunday night game.
$178 per ticket. Taken out and shot.
How many tickets available for that one?
Over 1,000.
I see why.
So, I mean, I want to commend Houston, Arizona for $8 tickets. So, good job.
You ready to go?
Yeah.
Why not? Let's go fly. Let's fly out there to the desert.
Southwest Australia, we get there $55.
Yeah.
We can actually fly down there, fly back,
Let's
go to the game, get a drink, a hot dog, cheaper than one ticket to the New Orleans Dallas game.
Very interesting. Very interesting.
That's actually, Is that true? Go talk about that. I'll do some math real quick.
Let's talk about the San Francisco-Carolina matchup. Should be a really, really good game. I'm kind of with Addison right now. San Francisco does play good at home, but Carolina is on fire. I think their defense can keep this game close. San Francisco offense does not scare me. However, you did hear about Michael Crabtree is cleared to practice this week. Doesn't mean he'll be able to play this week, but cleared to practice. So look on your waiver wire in a couple weeks. Crabtree, if he's available, you might want to pick him up. But I think this game stays closer than the Vegas experts predict. I like Carolina in a real close one. I can't say they're going to win this game on the road, but I think they keep this one close. Let's go. San Francisco 23, Carolina 20, and a nail biter. So I'm going Carolina plus the 6, and I'm going to go push the total or lean under the 43. Ad Rock, let's go to the next game. You were just talking about this. The Houston Texans take on the Arizona Cardinals. Last week for the Houston Texans, it was their back against the wall game, and boy, did they play good in the first half. And second half, it all came crumbling down. First, their coach goes out with a mini stroke. Did you see this, Gary Kubiak?
Yeah.
Oh,
scary.
so sad. Very scary. Well, they diagnosed him with a mini stroke. He cannot coach. They don't know if he'll be able to coach again this year. Hopefully, he'll be back. But they've got the
Wade Phillips.
Wade Phillips. He'll be the new interim head coach until Kubiak can come back.
Good backup. That's a good backup coach.
I really think that's why I think they lost the game. Their offense kind of got stagnant in the second half. They scored 3 points in the second half.
Yeah.
Because they need Gary Kubiak. He's their play caller. So anyway, I think the Texans might be in for a struggle moving from here on out.
No,
right?
I think the struggle is where you have Matt Schaub is injured. You got
Case Keenum played great though. He threw 350 and 3 touchdowns.
Arian Foster, nothing. Ben Tate hurt.
Ben Tate 81 yards. Andre Johnson, career game 229 and 3 touchdowns. You know where he got? First half. He did that in the first half.
Wow.
Houston scored 3 points in the second half. All the damage first half.
Well, they thought the guy was going to die, Chad. Come some slack.
I hate it for him to say it the way the
you
tides
heartless
turn.
person. I mean, hey, be like, come on, play football. Chad's out the sideline with a whip. Come on, we don't care if he died. Play.
Dude, I had him in a 3-game parlay.
God.
I needed the Texans in a
Heartless.
3-game parlay. Come on. Anyway, this weekend, Las Vegas got the number. Arizona at home, a 2-point favorite, total 41.5. Addison, anything you want to add to this game?
No.
Okay, I didn't think so. Let's go. Andre Ellington for the Cardinals. Start him if you got him against Houston's defense. And also,
Mendenhall's back. Mendenhall is back.
who cares? Mendenhall stinks. Put Ellington in there. He can be your flex play. And for Houston, I would not think bad of it if you play Case Keenum. 350 yards and 3 touchdowns. However, their play calling will be hurt with Kubiak on the sidelines, as I mentioned, but hopefully they rally, but I think they lose this game. Arizona outright. Let's go 20-17. Arizona minus the 2 and under the 41.5. 3 more games to go, Addison. Are you ready?
Let's go.
Let's fly through. And we got Denver coming off the bye, traveling to San Diego last weekend for San Diego. They lose to the Redskins in that was an interesting game.
Yeah,
30-24. Phillip Rivers, fantasy numbers extraordinaire, 341, 2 touchdowns. Ryan Matthews, nothing on the ground, 34. But Keenan Allen, if you picked him up 6 weeks ago, as we talked about, you have been rewarded. He goes 8 receptions for $128 and a touchdown. As we mentioned, Denver coming off the bye, so you get Peyton back, Welker back, Sean back, Demaryius Thomas back, Eric Decker back. Have you seen this show? Did we talk about this show?
I don't want to talk about the show.
This show is horrendous.
You're right.
Holy
I'd rather
cow.
talk about ticket prices and Halloween costumes and Jennifer and a bunch of other stuff. But I do not want to talk about the Eric Decker show.
I'm sure you have it DVR. Anyway.
And she's like 5 foot nothing.
And she bosses this professional ball player around.
She don't
like
look that good either.
She's okay. Yeah, but she is nothing. She's
Dude,
no 10. She's not a 10.
If you put her in a lineup with a bunch of hot girls, would you pick her out? No.
Probably not. I mean, I'd say, hey, she's pretty attractive. But the way she bosses this dang Eric Decker around,
Dude, thinks her poo-poo don't stink.
I bet these players dog this Eric Decker in the locker room.
I mean, got to.
Dude, have a backbone, son. You know what I mean?
You are a professional athlete. And you got this little, she must do that. There must be some stuff going on that we just don't know about.
Maybe so. Maybe so. We'll just leave it at that. Right now, Denver, a 7-point. This is a big game in the AFC right here. The Chargers are 4-4. The Broncos are 7-1 or whatever. Denver, 7-point favorite. Total 58.5. What you think, Ad?
Look, it's the Denver show right now, but I'll tell you what, with San Diego, if their defense can step it up a little bit, they can give Denver a run for the money. San Diego right now is fourth in the league in passing. They're averaging just a little over 300 yards a game. Not bad, middle of the pack in rushing, but I like. You know what? I'm gonna go with the Chargers. I believe it or not, I know they're coming off bye, but I think the Chargers have a little more. I think they'll catch the Broncos on their heels.
Hey, man.
After seeing the Jacksonville game, that game leads me to believe that San Diego kind of runs some similar offensive pack.
Hey, you know what? I agree with you. You know what Denver can do? I mean, San Diego can do? They can score. You know what Denver does real well? They can score. San Diego can keep up with them. Also, San Diego playing at home. I like San Diego for the outright upset. So let's go San Diego plus the 7, and I'm going to go.
Are we green? Wow.
We are green. I'm going to lean under the total there. 58.5 is a ton of points. I can see it being like 30 to 24, like 54 points. So I'm going to lean under the total. San Diego outright upset win of the week ad. 2 more games to go. Here we go. Sunday night special. This is a good one. The best game of all the games this weekend. Dallas travels to New Orleans. Last week, New Orleans lose to the Jets in a shocker. Who would have predicted this? Drew Brees through the air. Let me get Drew Brees' stats. He goes for 382 and 2 touchdowns, but it's not enough. On the ground, Pierre Thomas, 24 yards, and Jimmy Graham, even with his injury, still collects 2 touchdowns and 116 yards. Dallas squeaks by last week against the Vikings. Their numbers coming up here at Rock here in a second. Let's find them. Boom. Tony Romo, 337 and 2 touchdowns, a fantasy stud every week. DeMarco Murray gets back into the action, but only 4 carries, still limited. I think he gets a little bit bigger workload this week. And Jason Witten, 8 receptions, a $102, and a touchdown. Big news here, Dallas camp. Dez Bryant did not practice today. We're talking to you live on a Wednesday. He's still having these back spasm issues. Hopefully it will play because I've got him in 2 leagues. Keep your eye on the injury report. Addison, Saints, -7 at home against the Cowboys, total 54.
I think these last 2 weeks have really put a damper on Dallas. I think the Saints are in control of they're in the driver's seat right now. Their offense is clicking. So, I mean, you got Jimmy Graham who just looked like a freaking man-child. Good Lord. I don't think Dallas has got anything for him. The one thing I do see, maybe if you want to pick him up, I think, DeMarco Murray, Joseph Randle, I think the Dallas offense have lost faith in. I think you look on your waiver wire, pick up a Lance Dunbar. Could be a good possible weak flex if you're decimated on injuries. He was targeted, I think, 5 times last week. So as a fantasy pickup, there's a possibility there, but not much other than the problems with Dez Bryant being out, Miles Austin still out. I think you need to look at
Terrence Williams,
but also, you ready for this?
Who?
My little white boy, Cole Beasley.
Oh, Cole Beasley.
He may get targeted some with these injuries. So, just keep an eye on that. If Dez Bryant doesn't go, that means those guys are going to get bumped up. So, may have to shuffle some from your bench to your lineup and possibly pick up if you need to pick up a Cole Beasley, God help you. But he makes these appearances where he'll have 5 or 6 hits a game.
Right.
In
a game like this, especially against the Saints.
He doesn't drop the ball.
Yeah.
If it's within, he's catching the ball.
Right. It could be a Cole Beasley show. Other thing I want to talk to you a little bit about the Saints, Addison. Marcus Colston last week did not even dress. He was inactive, and he's questionable again this week.
I don't think he'll play.
But what's wrong? They're not releasing what's wrong with him.
He hurt his left pinky.
I mean, something's going on.
I don't know.
He's listed on the injury report, but it doesn't list the injury, and he was inactive last week, and he's questionable this week. Also, big news, especially for all you Darren Sproles owners, concussed first quarter, has to pass. He got concussed first quarter, has to pass a series of tests to be able to play again, and so they don't know if he's going to be able to go. So without Colston, without Sproles, I do think this will be a shootout. The total's 54. I'm going over the total 54, and I think Dallas keeps this one close. I could maybe see Dallas even winning this game, but I'm going to take Dallas plus the 7, and let's go over the 54. Last but not least, actually, before we go into this last game, we're talking about the Houston, the Arizona game a couple games back, Addison. Arian Foster, coming to you on a Wednesday, did not practice again today. Y'all saw him on Monday Night Football. He got in one series and out with his back injury. Did not practice again, so he's questionable. And Ben Tate's got 4 cracked ribs, but he played through it on Monday. But holy cow, that's a rough spot for the Texans. Anyway, I digress. Let's move on to the Monday night game. You ready for this one? Miami at Tampa Bay. That is the Monday night game.
Going to bed early.
Good God, no
Going to bed
doubt. Yike-a-ramba.
Hey, Chad, I got to get to the bar, dude. Let's wrap this up.
You ready? All right, I'm going to give you the total. Miami. What? You are such a drunk. I'm a professional trying to do the
I'm over here in
podcast.
Texas, man. I mean, we got all boys sitting up at the station, man. I want to go have some beers.
Trying to do our podcast, and you just thinking about liquor.
I have to go to work, though. Thank God I shouldn't listen to the show.
Miami -3, total 41. Anything going on in this game? This Monday night snoozer?
You're right, snoozer. Besides the the highlight of the Dolphins their season last year, beating the Bengals.
Yeah.
You know, that's the highlight. They're going to probably have banners made of that and hang it in the arm. I mean, that's it. I mean, you got Chargers or the Buccaneers.
Do we want to spend any time talking about the offensive line debacle?
They got Mike Glennon start for him. He went to some scrub-ass school. I don't know why he's even in the league.
You come up with the same jokes like every week. You know what I'm saying? It's the same one over and over
you
and
got
over.
No jokes. None.
Dude, I'm a comedy just thrill a minute over here, dude. It just constantly comes. I don't have anything planned. It just rolls off my tongue.
Pillar.
Do you want to talk any about this offensive line debacle that's going in Miami?
I don't know.
You know what's going on in Miami about incognito and this? Do we want to talk anytime about
I don't want to give that dude the fact that Mark kid. What's the hazing is? What kills me. These guys are making millions upon millions of dollars each year. And this kind of upsets me. This is their job. They're taking it so nonchalantly, and they're getting paid millions of dollars for it. This Mark kid was going to work. He was going to work every day, and he had a very bad work environment. You know what? I'd have done the same thing. One, I'd have kicked. I'm sorry. Yeah, right. Edit down, yeah. I'd have kicked the hell out of that dude. But, I mean, that dude, it's a work. You're at work. You're getting paid millions of dollars. Be professional. Don't be like me trying to pick fancy people up while you're on the air. Be professional.
Very true.
Yeah, work with your teammates.
Yeah, if y'all want more information about this, all you got to do is turn on ESPN. They have talked about this thing. It is.
This dude will never. This guy will
48
never play.
hours straight.
He'll never play in the league again. He's done.
I know he is done, which is a shame. But anyway.
No, incognito.
Yeah,
incognito.
Incognito's finito. But I'm saying the other.
No, he'll play. He'll play.
I don't know, dude. He's got his psyche is maybe scarred for life. But anyway, we'll see.
It's not. No, the dude is an NFL player.
Let's don't spend any more time on this. You need to get to the bar. I need to take care of my children because I'm a responsible adult. Let's just do the two things that we do, okay? You go get drunk. I'll go be a responsible father and husband. Right now, I'm going to take the Buccaneers plus the 3.
I don't care what you think. Man, I'm over here that's about to cry. You really hurt my feelings.
And anyway, if you haven't picked up on the Tim Wright for Tampa Bay yet, grab him. He's getting a touchdown a week. He's the tight end. He looks great. Glennon goes to him. So anyway, Addison, before we leave, that wraps up the Fantasy 45 ad.
Hey, good job.
All right, I'm going to hit you with this. This is our question of the week. It comes from a caller. It's Matt Pearsall again, the guy that busted.
Dude, get a life.
He loves this podcast. I'm telling you, when we were off the 1 week.
Pearsall, man, we love it. We appreciate it.
He was like, dude, seriously, I depend on y'all for
I know,
some
Pearsall, man. It was Chad's fault. He was down in High Point doing his
thing.
Trying to sell, whatever.
Drugs. All right, so he's got Trent Richardson. He says, Addison, is there anybody – can you see me benching Trent Richardson for any of these other players? Okay, you ready?
What are they?
All right. Would you bench Trent Richardson for – and I'll go through the list. Pierre Thomas, Ben Tate, Alshon Jeffrey, Wes Welker, Marcus Colston.
Wait.
Because it's got he play him as a flex, so you can move any of those guys around.
But yes.
Would you bench Trent Richardson for all of them?
Yeah.
Pierre Thomas over Trent Richardson?
Yes.
Ben Tate?
Yes,
definitely.
Week, yeah.
Alshon Jeffrey for sure.
Yeah.
Wes Welker for sure. Marcus Colston though.
No, exactly. No.
So you put T. Rich in that spot.
Yeah, you've already got those players right there. You've got your yeah.
Okay.
Good.
Well, there it is, Pearsall. Put Colston on the bench. I'm kind of with you. The Pierre Thomas one is close, but T. Rich for Colston. Colston will not play this week. He's out. Who knows why?
Yeah, Trent Richardson, dude. I mean, you don't know. I mean, because we just talked about it. I mean, Donald Brown. That looks like he lost some faith. Donald Brown's. I don't know if you can pick him up anymore. I think he's. I was just looking. He's gone. So
of course you were looking. That's all you do. We're on the air. Look who's on the waiver wire, don't you? Son of a gun. Let's try to be professional next week. Addison, hey man, I enjoyed today's podcast with you. It's been a lot of fun.
No, it hasn't. It's been freaking it's been torture.
It has been torture. It really has been torture. But you know what? Tell me about how the bar is this evening when you go. Shoot me a text. Let me know how it is while I'm, taking care of children.
Reading stories.
Reading stories. Doing all the stuff a responsible father does.
Yeah, reading them some Bible verses.
Exactly.
Chad,
exactly. I will see you tomorrow. I will see you tomorrow night though at my crib, right, for the Oregon Stanford.
Are you setting me up? I don't know. Yeah, I may be painting. So.
Okay, that's right. I forgot. All right, buddy. Well, enjoy your time at the bar. I will talk to you very soon. And Fantasy Fanatics, can't wait to talk to you next week. Until then,
Who day, baby?
Peace.
You've been listening to The Mesh, an online media network of shows and programs ranging from business to arts, sports to entertainment, music to community. All programs are available on the website as well as through iTunes and YouTube. Check us out online at themesh.tv. Discover other network shows and give us feedback on what you just heard.